true, dude.
Okay. I'm telling you, the DJ's on the cloud, man.
he's just streaming mad fat wedding hits. Beat. I love these pictures.
Is that anything anymore on the screen?
What did you say?
All right, cool. We're live now.
We're live.
We're live.
We're live. What's up, guys? Hey, what it do?
Hey, pals.
To all my blacks out there, turn up, bro. Shout
Mad
out.
fat rhythms.
Tell those hoes you don't love them.
Hey, we're still Dre here on the Mark and Andre. Still taking time to perfect the beat for y'all. For you all.
I'm in a gang.
You're literally banging on a live stream.
Banging on a live stream.
Hey, you know you just got banged on right now.
And that gets copyrighted because, like, let's have it. Where did you use our insignia?
Fucking cat there.
No.
Hello, live streamers. I'd like to acknowledge you all as those that are watching the stream. I'd like to say hello, and in the same, I'd like to say goodbye. Hello, the two people that are watching. Greetings. I go by the name of Andre. You could spell that with an A if you'd like, because that's the way you're supposed to spell it. If you'd like to know how it's spelled, I'll spell it all the way out for you. It's A, N, D, R, and E with a type of accent mark above it to shift the letter E sound to A, which is ironic in itself. Let me tell you a story.
All about how.
My life got turned upside down, and I'd like to take a tell you how I became the prince of a Taco Bell in Bel Air. I hope you guys are having a good day out there. If you're not having a good day, then you know it's almost over. So yeah, you can do it that way. You can find solace in the end of the bad day.
Loud ass wedding.
Yeah, if you hear anything in the background, we are currently at a festive wedding event.
We're not at a.
We are doing this at a wedding. We're doing
we're doing this at a wedding. We decided to change our tuxedos.
I was on my way. She said the kid was mine. She's gonna be sorry when she find out I lied. How's it sound? Doable. I like that. I like that sound. I like how that, you know, the way you said it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another great episode of the Mark and Andre podcast show. I'm Mark.
I'm Andre.
And this is my co-host, Andre Gaynor, founder of Lyricology 101 on YouTube.
Yay.
Welcome to another great episode of the Mark and Andre podcast show. I know it's quite a surprise to see this guy.
I'm back.
He's back after
I returned.
a brief hiatus.
Just is a temporary drug binge that I really couldn't get a hold of. The podcast fame kind of got to my head, and I really needed to settle down. So I stopped doing lewds. Are you familiar with lewds? Have you ever tried Quaaludes?
I've heard bad things about him.
They're perfect. Yeah, don't listen to the lies.
Nothing good could come of those.
Oh no, like everything that they told you about drugs, they're absolutely wrong. They're great.
Ah, I see.
They're great, but I highly suggest everyone try drugs. Everyone.
Well, I'm glad your relapse only took a week. For you to come back 7 days later.
Oh, I'm fine. Healthier than ever. My family is back together.
Everything got mended?
Everything got mended. It was a really short binge. It was like really 3 days of me losing my shit, and then I realized I can't handle this, and then I stopped.
So it was like a real life sitcom where everything just was all normal.
Oh, actually, yeah. It was like Degrassi. It's like an episode of Degrassi.
I got hooked. I got addicted to cocaine for just like maybe 2 days.
Yeah.
The rest was I went to rehab for a day. I was cured by the following day, and
It's been good ever since.
I have a new glow to myself, a new energy. So, how are you feeling today?
Feeling good. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for tuning in to the Mark and Andre podcast show, the only film, entertainment, and conspiracy theory podcast on Spreaker.com, possibly on YouTube as well, since we're live streaming now.
Right.
On YouTube.
On YouTube. Hello, YouTube.
We're here at the Orange Space in beautiful Redlands, California.
Yeah.
If you guys need a small office space, locale with nice coffee, good ambiance, and a weekly rate or a monthly rate or even a daily rate, contact the Orange Space in Redlands, California. Their space is orange. Welcome to the Mark and Andre podcast show, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's topics we're going to be talking about hate crimes being live streamed on Facebook.
Whoa.
We're also going to be talking about everyone that got capped in 2016,
Right.
Celebrities, not necessarily capped, but some did die of old age.
Yeah, just the passing of celebrities.
We're also going to be discussing the American Idol runner-up Bo Bice is actually being mentioned in 2017, and we'll tell you why. It's very funny.
I need to know why too.
Oh yeah, dude, trust me. The curiosity is reaching a fever pitch. And if you guys don't know why all this soul music's in the background, it's a loud-ass wedding right behind the orange space. Not that we have a problem with it or anything, but it's
We
just...
celebrate the union of two lives.
Yes.
It's just, when you're playing the Temptations best of at your wedding, I feel like it's just...
The Temptations was never meant for loud bass. Ever.
This wasn't meant to be DJ'd, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys are hearing any noise, just, groove with it. This is going to be
Yeah.
a funkier episode than we've had.
In the words of Earth, Wind, and Fire, let's groove tonight. Find the spice of life.
This is going to be a groovy-ass podcast, so let's have some fun.
Yo, groovy.
Still,
I hope people on the audio stream can actually see us pop and lock here on the live stream here. But yeah, so we have a lot to talk about here. I'm just glad that Andre's back from his
from my
your
binge.
sabbatical.
Yeah, there we
It's
go.
good to have you back live in effect.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get back into the steam of back into the swing of things.
Yeah, let's get the ball rolling.
Let's get the ball rolling here. What would you have going on today?
Okay, double homicide, but only one person died.
Oh, you're talking about you moonlighting as a police officer.
Yeah, so I've been working with officers. Well, usually when you're a rookie, the first year you have to be under another officer in order to get the credentials you need.
Uh-huh.
I haven't applied to be an officer or anything like that. I just got in the cop car and he was down to take me around. And right off the bat, double homicide. I killed one person and they can't find the other person. So it's been a really long day. Other than that, it's been really nice. Very comfortable day. They say the first kill is the worst, the hardest. I thought it was the first kill in my case was the funniest.
Those usually go hand in hand with the worst or the best.
Yes. So it's like it was a mixture of both. So I had a really good time. What about you? How'd you do today?
I had a good day today. I was able to get a lot done, and
So
I'm
double
really.
homicide as well?
Mine wasn't really that bad. It was more like I had a deal. There was an emergency situation over at some event, and it was just a lady with a hangnail. And so we had to get the jaws of life, paramedics, fire department. It was a bad scene. Blood everywhere. Not from her though. Some guy actually spilled red paint all over the floor, and then she thought it was blood, thus creating the hangnail that we all see before our eyes that day.
Wait, where was this at?
Atlantis.
That's where I did the double homicide.
Oh, so that wasn't
we
paint.
might have crossed paths then.
That's beautiful.
Because I did kill a guy next to paint pails that were red.
Paint pills. There's blood or whatever the hell is everywhere. There's something here and it's everywhere. It's red.
It's red! We can assure you there's something wrong here.
I was able to grab your attention early today off of what I was telling you what we were going to cover here.
Right.
And it turns out that there was a hate crime being live streamed on Facebook.
Facebook.
People, like I mentioned to you guys before, if you guys really want to get caught red-handed with all the evidence being shot your way, you're going to live stream something on your Facebook account.
Exactly.
That is the first thing that people look for virtual crimes or for any crimes regarding any evidence, video, audio, photos. They'll look. police departments do look.
Well, in this regard, I mean, if you're gonna live stream from Facebook, it is a 100% direct link to you. The moment you hit stream live, everyone that knows you personally will get a notification saying this person is streaming live.
And
first and last name, identity is streaming live right now.
Granted, the title might be, I'm doing a hate crime right now. Like, so-and-so is live streaming hate crime, live in effect.
And all of the people involved are tagged. So you could just go to their profile and now you know everybody that's involved in this hate crime.
I wouldn't be surprised if these guys in the report I'm going to read off to you didn't tag the victim.
Right.
Hey, what was your name? Let me tag you. What was your at?
What's your first and last name, man? Okay, so that at MMMMMM. So like,
so there's hate crimes being charged in Chicago because four young teenagers were assaulting and apparently kidnapped this mentally challenged kid and tortured him for hours on end. Actually, more like an adult because the mugshots of all four of these assailants were actually a lot older.
They were older.
Yes.
They were, and it's crazy because the excitement is just palpable in regards to the subject matter.
Yeah, for the subject plus what we're trying to talk about. There's a nice joyous wedding.
There's a joyous wedding in contrast to our very dark torture story.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people are ruling this as an outright hate crime because all of the abusers were black and the victim was a young white male.
Yes.
He was tied up. Bound. I don't understand
Bound
this,
at the
though.
mouth.
They really, like, okay, as dumb as the live streaming portion is, right?
Yeah.
In accordance to how live streaming works and it goes straight to your profile,
Yes.
the fact of the matter that you would even record your torture to share online
Yes.
is a bit idiotic, right?
Yeah.
It's a bit embarrassing.
You take a certain amount of gall to do that, just
Right.
to have enough
Gargantuan size nuts.
to even
Seriously.
try to do that. And it's a moment of insanity where you think you might even get away with it.
Right. Like when you think that, oh, I'm just gonna do this. We don't have any addresses, so there's no way they'll catch us.
They'll
right?
never catch me.
Because he was in some secluded like saw room, right? Like in the corner, being tortured, right?
It was the only video footage that I saw was the actual guy being in a corner of a room with two window panes, so he's in the corner spot. But I could only stomach to watch a few moments of it because this guy was getting tortured.
Right.
You know.
But what would take a person to such extremes to torture someone? Like, I mean, I understand like beating somebody's ass or splashing water on them and acting stupid, for the sake of bullying, right? But in this case, this was outright full-fledged torture. And I don't know, that there's something really crazy about how extreme they went in regards to hurting this defenseless, mentally handicapped person. Like, what the fuck, right?
The four are being charged with kidnapping, aggravated battery, and aggravated unlawful restraint.
And overall aggravation.
There's one person being aggravated here. And that's that kid that got tortured for hours on end.
Hours, right?
And
how long was the stream? I don't recall.
I have no idea, but I mean, I'm not even thinking about the fact of this is not even this is a race issue, but I don't even want to play it on that because I just want to wipe the slate clean and say someone nonetheless was tortured by another human being, and it was live streamed on Facebook
and shared with thousands upon thousands of people, and of course once the news hit that this took place, it went viral, of course. So now you have up to millions of people viewing a torture, which is also bound to a hate crime. But in this sense, did we get any origin as to why they did it?
The dialogue that was being expressed inside the live stream was all predominantly like anti-white, fuck Donald Trump, etc. So it was from that standpoint alone, it's politically driven,
racially driven,
not very sound for them to do it.
Right.
From the perspective that they have, they don't even know the guy.
Right.
They just randomly took some guy from what they have built in this article. They just randomly took someone and ended up kidnapping, then torturing them. And what's unfortunate about this is that the media, like always, especially right now in this day and age, is going to drive this to an extent to where this is racially driven.
Right.
Whereas I feel like I have to deliver a different perspective.
Right. And not focus so much on the racial aspect of the situation.
You and I probably would share the same regard here, is that someone nonetheless was kidnapped.
Right.
Regardless of race or anything, but it's still a heinous criminal act.
It is a heinous criminal act, and it's obvious, like, yeah, we can look specifically on the kidnapping, the age of the person being assaulted and tortured. We could look at this whole thing as just a crime in itself.
Yeah.
And the reality of the whole situation is this horrid crime took place on a live stream.
Yeah.
So in reality, what we are witnessing is an evolution of, like, you could almost tie cyberbullying with reality now, right? Because they took this bullying situation, this torturous situation, to the internet.
Yep.
For whatever cause, because it's not a noble cause, and it's not pushing forward any fucking okay, they're now hinging this towards Black Lives Matter. So they're claiming that the individuals that tortured this kid were supporters of Black Lives Matter. And I'm not trying to go into the depths of the racial issue, but at hand, they chose some group to claim that this is what they do. Like, they picked Black Lives Matter and said this was associated with that, and now we have a new form of conflict. But the true conflict should come from the fact that these people kidnapped someone and tortured them.
Exactly, and you can't...
If it was white on white, the story would have been spun just a little bit differently. So
I really do think so as well. For what we have here, if you look at it just at its base alone, you have to realize, wow, Facebook has a lot of work to do on their end to make sure that streams like this don't happen again.
Right.
I really do not want to see... There's a lot of Facebook live streams that I don't want to see.
Right.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Leandro. I'm here opening up a can of tomato soup. I'm warming it up. I hope you guys like tomato soup too. Bill,
it's a little hot. It's a little hot, y'all. I'm gonna put it down.
Bill, what's up? You stole me $5. Okay, I just want to make sure you stole me $5.
Bill, you out there? And also, you can see who's watching your. So you can see like the emojis floating by in the midst of the torture. It's this is so weird, right? It was a bunch of mad faces flying by as he's being tortured.
It's just.
It's sad that you can attach an emoji towards the torture situation.
I just don't want live streams of that type of nature to even be broadcast.
You know, well, here's this event in itself is going to have to. This is detrimental to Facebook because. In order for a live stream to be monitored and ruled, you can't tell what a person's going to do on a live stream.
Exactly.
But that's the innovation of live streaming, right? We're live streaming right now. I could pull my dick out and you guys wouldn't be ready for it. But I wouldn't do that. I've done it before, but not on this stream. Yeah, not on the live stream. But I have free range to do whatever I want because it's unexpected. Someone could run in here right now and kill us. And you have to see it because it's live stream. Yeah. So Facebook has no control over the content that'll show up on their live stream. So people are gonna they're gonna speak out and ask for censorship. That's just not gonna fucking happen, especially because this is an innovation of Facebook. So when it comes down to it, there's not gonna be a way to prevent some horrible thing being seen. I don't know too many accounts, but I'll say this is the third time I've witnessed something from a live stream end badly, or be of a horrid nature. One of the most iconic events of a live stream showing something really horrid was when old girl, this was around the midst of the shootings last year, she ended up recording her boyfriend being killed. He had just got shot by a cop, and she started live streaming, and she live streamed as like he's still bleeding, he's dying, and he dies on video, and then she ends up being arrested, and she throws the phone down, and it just continues the live stream. That was a huge controversial issue in regards to what people ended up seeing. It was graphic. It was sad to watch. She's screaming and crying. There was another where a person's like, they're recording fights on live streams. People being stabbed in the fight. You can't predict what's going to happen. So in regards to using live streaming as a source to show something spontaneously.
Yeah, that's a variable that's very incalculable.
It's incalculable. And in this case, I mean, you can name your live stream before you put it out, right?
Yes, you can.
So in this case, maybe they have to use a filter system based on the name, but then even if they do that, that's actually pulling away from your rights. You're able to, it's freedom of press technically, right? This is your expression. This is a medium we're on right now. We can say and do whatever the fuck we want to do.
Yep.
It's not going to affect anything. So I don't know. It's really touchy when you can see how much they can edit this situation. They're not going to be able to do it because it'll violate somebody's rights.
What we're looking at here for this type of incident, I think that in the eyes of the law, the lawyer can just have a field day with this situation, because now you have a hate crime being involved, and then you have an additional hate crime being portrayed, because he can even spin the agenda that this was basically a hate crime performed not only against a white guy, but actually someone that is mentally handicapped. So he can go
double the offense, basically.
Exactly, and now you're at a position where they can actually charge a whole litany of charges are going to be placed upon this situation, and I think the minimum sentencing for these is probably looking at about 20.
20?
Unlawful kidnapping, that doesn't fly these days.
I mean, look, 4 people lost their lives that fast because they wanted to torture someone for some sick reason. And it doesn't make sense, though. I guess I'm not trying to be no conspiracies at this moment, but I just think it's very unique that this group of people decides out of nowhere to one, kidnap somebody, then torture their ass on live stream. I mean, the live stream is what really makes this thing weird, because I would never imagine a person thinking they could get away with it. Even, I mean, they're not dumb. They obviously were smart enough to bind him, cover his mouth to prevent him from screaming. So I'm assuming that the kidnapping was scot-free. They handled business. Yeah. But they were dumb enough. I mean, they after a perfect kidnapping and a perfect binding and withholding of a person.
There's always, the hot streak was going to end somewhere because they had everything done right.
They had it all good on paper. On paper, kidnap him, beat his ass on live stream. That's where things just went wrong.
Parentheses and with the thumbs up.
And then the next line, profit. You know, like, I don't know what they were expecting. Maybe the controversy would have got them a lot of attention. Were they music artists in any case? Like, this is a dead serious question.
This is actually a very predominant hip-hop group in the Chicago area. No.
Controversy for the sake of music? I don't know what they were doing, because I don't see anything in regards of live streaming being effective in anything.
Because, no, you're not... If they wanted to do this for the sake of being patriotic, heroic, they're doing nothing of the nature.
Right.
Kidnapping and torturing is one of the most inhumane acts done to any human being in any moment of history. I mean, even when we think of prisoners of war.
Right.
Prisoners of war are more viable to actually being traumatized than actually having people just decide to go AWOL and not appear inside the enemy territory. You know, it's a matter of, this is really important for your guys, the guys that you kidnapped, the guys that you have for us. We need them back. Right. You know, it's like, you have to remember that the trauma for long periods of time like that, being kidnapped, that could be permanent.
It could be permanent. And in this case, no disrespect to the person that was kidnapped. I don't think they knew he was handicapped, right? They didn't know.
I don't think they did.
But I mean, what put him in this position? You know, I'm actually thinking from the handicapped person's perspective, or the one that was kidnapped. Mm-hmm. He was just walking on the street, going home, minding his own business, and they fucking just snatched him up. And maybe they just thought we just took a random white guy. Or we just took, maybe it wouldn't have to be a white guy.
The two options exist to where you do know the guy, or you don't know the guy at all.
Yeah. So not knowing him, maybe was. Sorry, she was beautiful. She's still beautiful. Sorry, I just locked eyes with someone in the distance, and I found my future. But in this case, it's like, they maybe didn't know that he was handicapped. Uh-huh. But what was his ailment?
They just went. I mean, it could be, something as big as him actually having a big mental disability, or he could be even suffering from depression. But it's still, it could be.
They could run that any way they could
spin it both avenues, right? But I mean, from what we have here, if you guys are watching if you guys are reading the incident on any form of social media, what you have to look at from its source is, understand the situation, and don't write out an issue that it's a black or a white thing. Please, that whole thing it's going to run its course for certain situations. We're not saying that this isn't something that you just run off and just say it's this, but from the perspective that Andre and I see about it, it's just someone was kidnapped and tortured regardless of race.
Yeah,
and tortured
on live stream. So I think the only reason this may have gotten more press than it should have, because it was a racial situation. Because I really do think there are far more worse things happening on live stream. I'm pretty sure there's like hundreds of these instances. Do you know how many users are on Facebook, period?
Billions.
Billions! So you mean to tell me out of the billions of events of live stream incidents, I'm sure people get away with pornographic material, I'm sure people get away with torture in other regards. I think because it was a black and white situation, that's why it got so much attention. And that's why it spun it and it became viral. So I hate how the media does that. They highlight a black-white situation, especially because what makes this more suspicious, we're not going too heavy on race, but it's a black group affecting a white person. So the odds of that are, I mean, it's like, and then of course if they found out he was handicapped, that just added more fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
So no conspiracies, just that's a coincidence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what we have here for you guys is to look at the sources, read up several articles. Don't just go off of one single person's shared post, and don't associate your opinions or your thoughts with the ramblings or the shared posts. If you know that person on your Facebook friends page is a suspect for posting everything,
right?
You know, because I have so many that they're really good with one article,
right?
But then they're like Egyptian pyramids found underneath like a white cop's house. You know, it's like the conspiracy angle just hits a pitch.
Yeah, and then they go into ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, it's just one of those incidents where you have to discern between the two.
Yeah, keep your eyes open and find what's right, what resonates with you.
Yeah, they're gonna find loose ties that the white captor was actually his father's like a Freemason.
His father's a Freemason,
or something.
Or he has blood that's tied to Trump. You know,
Donald Trump.
In some way, shape, or form.
He's of the Trumpian race.
Trumpian handicap race. So you guys just, you know, please take that. Open your mind in regards to what you're witnessing from this kidnapping situation, which is, it's fucked up. And I think it's being looked at from the wrong angle. So.
Exactly. We have a great 2017 podcast so far. It's the first podcast of 2017, and I want to let you guys know. I'm going to go ahead and go on commercial break on the Spreaker page, but then I'm going to cut a promo for you guys on the live stream here on the Mark and Andre podcast show.
That's right.
Hello, this is Mark Flores from the Mark F podcast.
Don't listen to that.
You
can't hear that.
Remember, guys, Game Swappers, buy, sell, and trade. Trade in your retro games to Game Swappers. You can follow them on Instagram at GAMESWAPPERS. That's GAMESWAPPERS. Game Swappers, buy, sell, and trade. They have two events, Retro Respect and the Bar Arcade. Super Smash Brothers tournament that they have at the Bar Arcade, and a buy, sell, and trade event with retro-related items at the Finish Line Sports Bar and Grill.
That's actually really, he did a very good job.
I have to double monitor this. And we're here back on the Mark and Andre podcast show.
That was really good. That was you guys, come on.
Mark here with Andre. We're here at the Orange Space in beautiful Redlands, California. We went to this pizza shop that I forgot their name, but of course in Redlands they sell pizza and coffee.
Yeah. Not
combined, but still in the same general area.
Yeah, and
you can have fancy coffee and a good pizza.
Yeah, but it's cooked in a brick oven, because...
Well, they always say that the best part of waking up is a fucking pizza in your cup. Don't you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
The DiGiorno commercial? Oh, the best part of waking up is a fucking pizza in your cup. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I distinctly remember that. Around the time I watch my cartoons in the morning.
By the time you wake up, you want a nice hot pepperoni pizza fresh in your mug. Imagine it's like puree. A freshly squeezed pizza? There's a lot of good movies coming out in 2017, man.
Bricks and Birch.
What happened?
Bricks and Birch.
Bricks and Birch.
Bricks and Boych.
Bricks and Birch. That actually sounds perfect.
And who was that sound guy over there? Bricks and Birch?
Yeah, brother.
That's
Bricks and Birch.
His name is Brixton Birch.
Oh, Brixton Birch. Okay.
Brixton.
That's a hipster name. Just leave it like that, Brixton. Go over with your sister Chastity.
Yeah,
Brixton.
No, but Bricks and Birch was actually really good.
The pizza was phenomenal. I'm real particular about how pepperoni how it tastes and it wasn't overly saturated with like sodium. You know, it's like you can taste I've been to a lot of pizza places where it's just like, oh my gosh, this tastes like a tablet of salt.
Yeah.
You know, but pepperoni pizza is one of my guilty pleasures. You know this, and the people at home, if you guys don't know, I am a fiend for a good slice of pizza, whether it be Costco, Bricks and Birch now, and where else? Oh, Pizza and Such over in Claremont, California. Pizza and Such is delicious.
Yeah, fantastic.
You went over there one time, right?
Yeah, I did. I mean, well, see, in regards to my taste and quality of pizza, I'm all about how it's cut. I really don't give a fuck about the taste. I don't care about what's on it. If it's not cut in the perfect, like, triangular shape, then I'm not going to eat it. So in regards to how they cut this pizza over at Bricks and Birch, I thought it was fantastic. I think the quality of the service of the way they cut the pizza is fantastic.
He brings an angle. He brings like a triangle.
Yeah, I have my make sure
compass.
I have my compass. I have my protractor, and I have other measuring tools to make sure that everything is cut accordingly. If it's not cut in an approximate 45-degree angle,
parallel to longitude and latitude to certain constellations.
Well, it's also about balance too. So if it's not, sometimes I see pizzas that are cut in a specific way to where it's kind of lopsided on one end. I want perfect symmetry. If I'm not getting the symmetry that I desire, then I'm going to give them a 1-star review on Yelp, and I'm fucking notorious for 1-star review. As a matter of fact, I think I've never given a rating higher than a 1-star, only because I don't understand if one is the best, as in like number one, or if it's the worst. But I haven't asked those at Yelp to help me out. So in regards to Bricks and Birch, I thought the pizzas were cut fantastically, which aided my experience of eating their food.
Is birch like the type of wood they use? I think that's probably what birch is, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I don't remember yelling that in like a ferocious like cuss word manner, like you birch,
son of a birch,
or like I don't know,
Dorian Birch.
But boich. You can't. That doesn't roll off the tongue, you know.
It's not as smooth as you think it would be.
Not at all.
Fantastic pizza. In regards to what's coming in 2017, my heart is cold now.
It's a whole lot.
I'm like 2017 is looking like the year of sequels. I mean, what do we have coming?
We have a Baywatch movie, a non Universal King Kong movie, which is the rights are done by WB, Warner Brothers. That's why it's called Kong Skull Island, not King Kong. King Kong itself is a trademark of Universal. We are going to have another Mummy movie, the Mummy reboot, the episode saga of Star Wars. I mentioned Baywatch already, right?
Yeah, you mentioned,
we have a lot of movies coming out.
That's your list?
I really don't have a list. I'm really going off of
off of assumptions.
Off of the instincts.
He assumed those films. They're not. He doesn't even know if they're in theaters.
So we also, with various actresses, actors in these movies, we also have various celebrity deaths in 2016. We've had a lot of people. This has been a quiet. There's been a lot more emphasis on these.
Is this haunted?
No, we're actually moving in place.
Oh, it's fucking the earthquakes here are ridiculous. They're so subtle that they shift like furniture without actually affecting anything around here. Yeah, it's a weird situation here. The cats in the podcast will understand.
Oh, they definitely will. So what we have too is we have various celebrity deaths in 2016. Most recently we had Carrie Fisher and Carrie Fisher's mom a couple days later. George Michael on Christmas Day. Now Christmas is ruined because now George Michael's never going to dance again.
It'll be the anniversary of Sir George Michael's passing.
Fidel Castro, I want to get this out of the way. We have to mourn the gentleman's death. He's passed away. And to some eyes, he's actually a great man. To some, he's not.
Right.
But Fidel Castro was on tons of borrowed time. Tons of it. He was supposed to die in the 60s.
Right. And he just kept going.
And I remember for more than 5 years, I heard that Fidel Castro was bedridden.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so usually when you hear stories or articles about someone being bedridden for that long, a few days later, boom, he's supposed to be plopped there. Fidel Castro, torta, just right there, But no. He actually went on and on and on and on.
And I think he went to release, about 20 albums in his lifetime.
He's probably like a hardcore rapper.
One of the best.
Cuba, he's
rappers.
whatever he wants to be.
In Cuba, he was one of the greatest artists of their time. I mean, he's had numerous albums, various genres. He had a reggae album. He had a pop reggae album. He had a dubstep album. One of my personal favorites was his. It was a polka album, but it had a bit of a psychedelic twist to it. I really liked it. But without a doubt, he had one of the strongest rap albums of 2014
within Cuba.
Yeah,
because he's the only music available out there.
Yeah, you can't get it anywhere else. So I took a vacation out towards Cuba, and I got all of his works, but I couldn't leave the country with the works. So they told me to listen to every project before I got on my flight. And without a doubt, it was some of the worst music I've heard in a long time. But I really respect what he did. I respect Fidel Castro.
The reviews out there streamed it really positive. Yeah, the reviews within. Fidel Castro es muy bueno. Really good, USA. You know what? As a matter of fact, too, is let's talk about a recap of 2016. This is going to be. There's a lot of bullshit going on with actual. We are now able to go to Cuba. As of 2016, we are able to take the whole family to Havana.
Right.
Yeah. That's a lot of people don't know, but after the embargo that was placed in Cuba in the 50s or 60s, my history is wavering me a little bit, but they weren't able to. They weren't able to get American cars, anything made in the USA. They had to end up getting cars from Russia. A lot of people were telling me that as soon as they recently took a trip to Cuba, everything's frozen in time. People's cars have to be refurbished with third party, like American-made cars have to be refurbished with different parts from different parts of other countries.
So they have shit from like the 80s, and they're still trying to make it work, or what?
Not the 80s. No. The American cars are still there from the 60s. And say if like your Ford, like I don't know, one of your hubcaps go out, you can't get that product. You have to find someone that makes bootleg
and then put it to your shit. So your shit is just held together with various other companies' parts,
from the cars to the engine.
So you have a Lego engine. You have Sony rims.
Iowa headlights.
That's unfortunate.
What happened, some guy?
Who are you?
What happened? You want us to do?
Do you need help?
You're in my house.
Oh yeah, we have to get out of here, brother.
Sorry, we're at someone else's home.
Just want to use the bathroom.
Oh, the key.
You're
to the
looking for the
restroom.
key.
Oh, quite embarrassing, sound guy, as I do not have it. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh, he tricked you. You gonna let him do that to you?
We're here live, by the way, sound guy.
So what are you gonna do now?
The key was on me, so
don't get us killed on live stream.
I know.
Don't get us tortured on live stream, so we can be another story.
Even with 2017 coming upon us now we're gonna have more. I think what they're gonna do now, because 2016 was in the majority part of December, they were on a hot streak of actually focusing in on celebrity deaths.
Right.
I remember when. If a celebrity wasn't as popular, like to the stratosphere popular, they wouldn't have recorded it.
Right.
You know, they wouldn't have put it on several social medias. You know what I mean? Like Florence Henderson, the maid that was in the Brady Bunch, died at 86 years old.
She did.
Realistically, they wouldn't have put that on various. They put
outlets.
it to the outlets to where they basically flooded outlets. You know what I mean? And it's just. I think a lot of people in smaller roles, like Florence Henderson, in the Brady Bunch, they're all going to be magnified a lot more.
Of course. I mean, I think celebrities get praise despite them being inactive or whatever.
Yeah.
One of the weirder, it just seemed like, once like one or two celebrities died, they just were like, well, what other celebrities may have died in this past week? And I think this is the first time, I think I told Mark this a couple times and other people, this past year was really the year where social media became one with everything. Our interaction personally has shifted towards social media. We don't transition phone numbers between one another, we transition social media. Like, it is a part of us now. We are one with it. So in this case, as soon as a celebrity died, it was posted. Like, that's not exactly, like, on the news, you'd have to wait a day for them to get the information correct and all this other stuff. It's like, as soon as a person dies and they're a celebrity, they put the news out and they don't explain how they died. They just tell you that they died. Oh, Prince died. How? What happened? He just died. He collapsed.
Yeah.
And then you have to wait for a period of time before they actually tell you what happened.
But I think that's what they were like. As soon as someone is declared dead, somebody's on his social media.
And the real unfortunate thing about it is that you'll click the link to see what they did, and then you are then at the suffering of clickbait.
Yeah.
You know, you have to go through the ventures of clickbaiting to see who died of what, or so on and so forth, and it just gets your anger piles up.
Yeah, it gets overwhelming. You'll never believe what just happened to celebrity. Click here to find out what happened.
Yeah.
Or you'll never believe that what's the name died from, and then you have to click to see what happened. But in this day and age, it was very obvious that the weight of all these celebrity deaths had a great reaction online. I mean, people would post more. As a matter of fact, it was like people that I knew weren't fans of a specific celebrity would have all these posts suddenly about that celebrity.
Like everyone did the same with Alan Rickman. And I'll tell you that Alan Rickman in some circles is a great actor. I personally liked him in Robin Hood, the old Kevin Costner Robin Hood, the Harry Potter movies which I had to watch. I won't get into that. But with Alan Rickman, great actor. And I even went back to even see him in Die Hard. And I didn't know him that well. I just knew that he looked like a Spanish rock star.
Yeah.
He looks like that guy, I don't know if you know him, but Marco Antonio Solis.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, I'll show you a picture of Marco Antonio Solis, and he looks dead on like
100%.
Alan Rickman, dude. But anyway, but with Alan Rickman, it's like, wow, granted, now I do appreciate his work because I did see him in Die Hard. Hell of a villain. And I would agree with you saying that some people just said, oh, I liked him in this, and you know, they would IMDb the filmography.
Right. And
but with the way that I was looking at to a few of them, I went back to look at more of their works, which was great.
Right.
You know, with Carrie Fisher, rest in peace. Everyone's going to be looking a lot more with her action figures, like her old Kenner action figures, even with the movies, the Star Wars movies, so like A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, even the new one in The Force Awakens. Speaking of that, in this new episode, what is it? 8, a new episode 8. Carrie Fisher is supposed to have a bigger role with trying to influence Kylo Ren to get back to the light side of the Force.
Does he kill her in that movie?
I mean,
might have to. I mean, the thing is that Carrie Fisher's role in Star Wars, the new Star Wars, Force Awakens 2, it's going to be already shot.
Even more Force Awakens.
The Force has arisen after it's awakened. But so anyway, she's gonna have a more prominent role.
Right.
And so either episode 8 is the final one for her, or if they left it on a continuation note, that's where the issue is going to be, because they cannot reshoot with her. They can only implement the CGI that you and I saw in Rogue One,
which was distracting. So I mean,
hers wasn't. I'd say Governor Tarkin, General Tarkin's was.
It was, but I don't know. Maybe they already have that done and it's figured out. But I mean, the way Hollywood rolls, they keep it moving. They'll just do behind the head shots. They'll do fucked up things if they have to.
Remember the one that I told you about the guy from Gladiator? You saw, remember his CGI imposed instance.
It just looked bad. Yeah. He's like lurking in the shadows.
With the stupid simulated face.
Right. So, I mean, in regards to that, a lot can happen. But one of the things about 2016's celebrity death toll, I almost feel like 2015 might have had an excellent number, pretty similar number, except with lower level celebrities. C-list, D-list, and then if you were to research it yourself, you'd find that. But I feel like 2016, it was almost a trend of how many celebrities were passing. A lot of fucking people died in 2016, but of course the celebrities got the attention. Now, a quick note, this is my personal conspiracy. It's a marketing tactic in a sense. So if you just found out that the star of all the Harry Potter films just died, the market value of Harry Potter films goes up for about 3 months because people are going to grieve and get as much as they can related to that character or that actor. You know, the actor could have did more films, but it's more so about the role that had the biggest impact. So in this case, I saw that all year. I would literally see a death announcement and then get advertisements like for the same thing related. Like, let's say Paul Walker just died, and then within that same day, if I'm scrolling on Facebook, I'm already seeing sponsorships for all the Fast and Furious disc set. Or
even that too, because as soon as he passed away, the actual car, the last car that he used in the Fast and Furious franchise, that specific blue car from Hot Wheels actually became like a rarefied item.
Right, and of course, market value increases. And people spend tons of fucking money. So it kind of got a little sick in my eyes towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
And of course, once Carrie Fisher passed, you saw the amount of Star Wars paraphernalia just skyrocket. People are pulling out toys of Carrie Fisher's character. Yeah. Princess Leia, sorry. I'm not a Star Wars fan, so Princess Leia's shit.
Will had a Kenner, you know, like, because Kenner remade the old Star Wars figures again. They like rebooted them. Basically, we're like a throwback look, so you're able to watch them, right?
Right.
So that one actually became a lot more rare the day Carrie Fisher passed.
Oh shit.
And I remember Will had one.
Yeah.
And I was gonna see the price on those went from the normal $10 to where those Kenner Fishers are worth to $40. So it jumps up, and it's just for the sake of people capitalizing on the actual grieve, you know, the grieving on from other people, you know, and people will pay a large amount of money to tie the memory with the item that they're associated with.
Exactly. In regards to the 2016 death toll, I feel like there was actually 2016 actually became trendy for fuck 2016. Like by the end of the year, the big joke was fuck 2016. And yeah, 2016 was a pretty rough year, but I just think overall we're seeing we're almost seeing at this point every system that was established many years ago, all of them are coming to a head now. So the economy was built a specific way, and it didn't expect to inflate in such a way that we'd be here. Because they didn't foresee it that far. They were just thinking in terms of like a 50-year time frame. And I feel like we're hitting the edge of every single era. We're seeing something as young as hip hop. Hip hop started in the late 70s. Hip hop started in the late 70s, and we are now seeing that shit crumble into bullshit. Entertainment as a whole is starting to crumble into bullshit. We're seeing films run out of ideas, and they're resorting to sequels.
Even television.
We're seeing television shows be spin-offs of other films or other shows.
Or not even being on TV anymore.
Right. We're seeing everything kind of fall. Like, okay, college. As far as students in college are concerned,
college has changed.
No, college has shifted. Like tuition is so high now that students are like dropping out just because they can't make it through school. We're seeing, back in like the late 80s, a person was able to have a part-time job and go to college, no problem. Nowadays, they can't do anything similar to that level. A regular household today, you can't have 2 full-time workers in your house and pay your rent.
Yeah, the day of age where you actually had jobs that were tied in with good pay, good benefits, and a pension, those days are gone. That's why, if you look right now, a lot of the baby boomers in Pasadena, in the uptown areas of a lot of major cities, live in big houses because they still have big pensions attached to them.
Right.
Without them, they would have to look to other means.
Sell crack. Sell people.
Keep working. A lot of things that go in hand in hand with that.
A lot of people have multiple jobs. Like it's
exactly.
Scary. But I'm just saying, 2016. People say fuck 2016 because they thought it was an awful year. But I think 2016 was a year that everything kind of is coming to a head. Everything.
Yeah.
And 2017.
I laugh at it.
We'll see what happens, basically. But I mean, my forecast isn't too good.
What I want to get at with all these various celebrity deaths is this: with you with you grieving about a celebrity dying, you liked Prince's music, you liked the music of George Michael, David Bowie, the acting of Carrie Fisher, Alan Rickman, Florence Henderson. I want to tell you is that each one of those celebrities were successful. They were actors. They were well known. More than 100,000 people plus knew them.
Right.
They were successful and they lived their life to the fullest. So what I recommend that you guys do with the turn of 2017, you know, we're 7 days into it now, 6-7 days into it. And I want to let you guys know is that you guys do your best to live your lives to the fullest. To then associate the success similar to that of celebrity to the same walks of life that you do today.
Right.
Be successful. Be the best you can be, and that's all I can associate with that.
Go forward, I guess. Go
Exactly.
with it.
live your life to the fullest as the various celebrities that have passed away in 2016 did themselves.
Oh, that was actually very inspirational. I respect that.
I appreciate that, man. It took a lot of work. You see?
Months of writing. Months of writing is
Two sides. Two sides. I was so sad when George Michael died on Christmas, man.
I'm not a George Michael fan, so I can't.
Dude, it was...
The George Michael I'm familiar with is from Arrested Development, and then I got
the George Michael from Arrested Development is the George Michael that he knows.
Yo, they're selling flowers, dog.
Yeah, you get after a wedding, you get to steal like the.
You get to steal the everything at the wedding.
Yeah, that's what my mom does. She has to learn somehow. She does it because they tell her they could take one.
After she takes them.
Yeah.
She takes them first and then asks.
Hey, I told her you can take one, not all of them. Oh, okay, I'll just leave this one.
You can take one, some, and then she just runs off with a bunch.
Oh man.
No, in regards to
2016, Prince, David Bowie, a lot of music, man. A lot of music, a lot of acting.
music artists passed. A lot of film and music artists.
Which one tugged at your heartstrings the most?
Prince, because a lot of music that I've done and a lot of music I'm affiliated with is inspired by Prince, or my influences are inspired by Prince. So
yeah,
it's really important. Even like, you don't understand, guys, Prince's influence went everywhere. Prince even influenced Mortal Kombat. Rain is a nod to Prince. That's why
it's purple.
Yeah, Purple Rain. Like, come on. Prince got everywhere. So in regards to his influence and how much he changed music, that was a really hard hit for me. But then that's the only one that really impacted me that bad, only because I personally don't feel like I can praying to a celebrity doesn't do shit. So when they die, it doesn't feel any different, you know? Like, no, not to be cold. It's just I feel like when a person's on a pedestal after they die and they overlook other people that have died, it's fucked up. Like when Paul Walker died, the guy that was in the car with him.
Yeah, the guy that was in the car with him, a lot of people grieved, but then they're like, oh, Paul Walker didn't go by himself. He didn't go out by himself. He went out with someone else. You know?
And he was overlooked completely. But anyway, that's another subject.
That's besides the point.
That's besides the point. But yeah, Prince for sure. What about you?
It was Prince. When Prince died, I was like, damn, like, because
this shit is happening.
When every time I take this guy out, we all go out. I always put a little cash for the jukebox, and I always play the same group of songs. Always. And I always liked playing 1999 and Purple Rain. Mm-hmm. So I do enjoy Prince's music, and it did hit home. But then when I heard randomly, I was like, wait, George Michael died on Christmas? It's ridiculous. Even China the wrestler died this year.
That was random.
Even the worst. Well, let's go down to 2017. With 2017, a lot of good things are coming our way.
Like what?
In the world of wrestling, I mean. Rick Rude's going to be introduced in the Hall of Fame this year.
Right.
And we did watch that crazy Wrestle Kingdom match with Kenny Omega and Tazashiki Okada.
That is cool, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know if that's enough to lift my spirits for 2017.
Hey, well, we're 7 days in. We still got about 300 and.
Well, I'll wait till the inauguration before I really feel something. I gotta wait till the inauguration.
I want to see that. Donald Trump is literally going to have his hand raised. I want to be the president. Make it happen. It'll be huge.
Thank you.
Huge.
I'm a little nervous. Just a little nervous.
If you guys don't mind, I'm going to take a nap at Trump Plaza. Be there. Huge party. It'll be huge.
So we'll see how it goes. I'm a pessimist in a sense for 2017. So maybe my spirits will lift over the year, and you'll see my progression as a person. But as far as I know we're like 7 days in.
Cheers to Trump's America, huh?
Cheers to Trump's America.
Sound guy, you don't get a cheers.
Put your hand down. Get away from us.
Sound guy,
Get out of here.
wait.
Get that out of here.
Look at that cup of Joe.
Get out of here.
He keeps coming in. It's funny because Sound guy keeps coming in and out with like a hot cup of Joe.
Like he's got to have it. He's got to have it.
And it burns his tongue a little bit too. I saw
His lips are turning black.
We want to thank you guys for tuning in to another great episode of the Mark and Andre podcast show, the only film, entertainment, and conspiracy theory podcast on Spreaker.com and live streaming on YouTube via the Green Thing Productions YouTube channel.
Yes.
GTP Productions is the YouTube channel, I guess, Sound guy, right?
Mr.StreamThing.
Mr.
Mr.StreamThing.
StreamThing.
I was close.
Mr.StreamThing GTP.
We like to give fake names and addresses just for random sake, but you can check it out there. Thank you
Don't
guys.
you love it being live? I honestly do like it. I honestly do love a live video and a live audio podcast.
I like to do this because you guys can see it now. You guys don't know what
You've
we do.
never done that even when we did audio.
I've tried it on the podcast, but nobody saw
This
it.
is a nice little, studio setup. I like it. I like the whole Chuck Mangione record that we have, along with some cacti.
Top 8 albums.
Chuck Mangione beat the illness. We miss you, Chuck.
Come back, Chuck.
Hey, so the wedding died down. The wedding next door.
I went over and handled business. I told them if you guys don't shut the fuck up in the next 30 minutes, and that's all I said, and I walked away. So hopefully.
Oh, you just like threw a big bluff?
Yeah, I threw a big bluff, and then I was hoping and then I left a blank check. So hopefully, blank check to DVD. I left it at their feet.
I left the blank check over at the register.
And then I requested them to play the Temptations for the rest of the night. But, we'll see how it goes.
Let me, how about we end this podcast with with
a fist fight.
Dude, this segment, I tell you right now, is, I wanted to save it and have you not know any of it, just to get the payoff.
Okay.
All right, so check this out. So American Idol runner-up, Bo Bice. Oh shit, I shouldn't have spoiled it. Because I was gonna say, I know, we're live anyway, but I was gonna say American Idol contestant gets ridiculed at a Popeyes, and it's not Ruben Studdard.
Okay. I know.
But that wasn't the punchline either. I'm terrible at this, by the way. American Idol runner-up Bo Bice is suing Popeyes because one of the employees called him a white boy. You called me a what?
Wow.
White boy. And he's suing Popeyes. He's suing Popeyes because one of the employees called him white boy.
Was the employee black?
I'll let you decide that.
He has a case. He has a case. He's won. It's over. What do
you expect going into a Popeyes? He don't know. Excuse me, sir.
Who would say that
Have a
though?
seat.
What would lead to that person saying that to them?
Well, when someone
Orders
that you
chicken.
don't know, when someone that you don't know deliberately says a racial slur.
Sup, my nigga?
That's what happened, and then
Yeah, Bo Bice said that to him. A lot of people don't know that.
Sup, nigga? I'm Bo Bice.
What up, boss? Dude, there's so many people I know that man, I hate it when white people call me boss. You've never told me that, but I know a lot of other black dudes that would tell me man, if there's one thing white people do, they love calling me boss.
No, it's a weird thing. And what happens is it's they'll say boss, and it really does feel patronizing. It doesn't feel like it's genuine. It's just it's almost like some strange reverse psychology technique that they think is working.
Yeah.
And it's that means you thought you were higher than I was, and you tried to swap it to make me feel better about myself. And every time I hear it, it just makes me want to act like this typical stereotype that you'd expect from a person, but I don't.
Soundboy, do we have any comments over in the...
Somebody had asked you to talk about Bo Bice at the exact moment you started talking about Bo Bice.
Oh, perfect. That's exactly we had.
It's probably Bo Bice. It's probably oh, someone's talking about him.
He woke up in the middle of the night and he went straight to the nearest street.
He felt it in the forest.
He felt it disturbed until he was
Forest.
sleeping.
So yeah, Bo Bice.
He's gonna
suing
he's suing Popeyes.
Someone called him a white boy.
Oh my god, that's so fucking dumb. Like, this world is so PC. Yeah, but he obviously put himself in a position to where he got called a white boy. White boy.
Even, like I was mentioning to you a few minutes ago, it's like when someone outside of your friend area calls you, like literally calls you, or even gives you a racial slur, it's deliberate.
Right.
And they're doing it with a form of, with a negative connotation to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, if I don't know you from anyone else and I just drop the N-bomb on you, you'll take offense to it.
Oh, so
your reaction.
Just saying N-bomb.
I'm almost get slept real quick.
Get knocked out, and then I finish the podcast by myself.
And if someone does that, it's just, there is a form of it being deliberate, and it's really unkind.
Right.
Because you could do that in the circle of friends with you and yours or whatever, how you guys do, but it's like, it gets really, you know, people are going to take offense to it if they don't know you.
That's unfortunate. I love Bo Bice. He's a nigga to me.
What you talking about, man? Bo Bice's been black for years.
Bo Bice is colored. They got it all wrong.
He's gonna go to the hearing with his hair braided.
And Black Panthers behind him with their fists up.
His attorney is gonna be. His attorney is gonna be Louis Farrakhan.
It's gonna be Louis Farrakhan. Louis Farrakhan is Bo Bice. This is Bro Bice, and everybody like puts their fists up, and then everybody's all proud of it. But like, I think that's really fucking dumb. Like, this is. What the hell? So
Cash grab
for sure. And then also, what is Bo Bice doing? Bo Bice. I keep saying Bo Bice because of
Bo Bice?
Bo Bice from Unforgivable.
From Unforgivable.
You know Bo Bice involved.
You know what Bo Bice involved.
No, so when it comes to Bo Bice's whole situation, I mean, how is his career going? Have we heard anything from him? He probably needs the money.
You probably don't hear a lot from. It was probably Ruben Studdard that worked at the Popeyes. That called Bo Bice a white boy, because both of those guys are like unemployed.
They're completely out of the eye of public, so who knows where they are, or what happened to them.
Yeah.
So, in this case, that's so dumb. Fucking stupid.
Has it ever happened to you to where you felt uncomfortable at a restaurant where you were the customer and you felt like I remember those instances you were telling me at the gas station, but anything besides that, because you were just in the wrong part of the South.
Outside, I have a bunch of stories of when I was in Florida, but outside of Florida, I think the only time I've ever felt uncomfortable was like I went to this one store and everybody right off the bat they were acting really strange, and this was out in Hollywood, around in Hollywood, and it was a gas station, guys. It's nothing really big. So I'm at the gas station and I go in and like everyone in the fucking store stops and they're looking at me. And they're looking at me really strange, and I'm confused because I'm like, what am I doing wrong here? Yeah. And I just go and grab what I needed, and as I'm talking to the guy at the register, he gives me a bunch of fucking money. Like, I didn't ask for the money, directly, but he gave me a bunch of money and told me to just please leave. And then I realized a lot of people were just shocked by the fact that I brought a gun in and I was robbing the place. But other than that, I didn't get much understanding of why. I really felt like it was because I was black, because if it was any other individual that was robbing the store, I don't think they would have gave him the same amount of attention. So
for a long time, your hand was amputated and you used a gun.
It was a gun attached to a claw.
As the prosthetic hand.
It was a prosthetic hand, and it rotated really fast like Yoshimitsu's hand. Oh. But they were staring at me very strange, and I didn't like that. And I came in, I didn't have any clothes on. I was naked. And I just felt like that was the best way to rob the store. I wanted to let them know there were no mysteries here. I'm going to rob you.
It's all me. It's all me.
I'm not bringing extras here. I didn't have a utility belt or anything. So that was one of those stranger moments, and I felt like that was highly racially motivated. So that was one of the instances where I felt like I didn't want to be in the environment of a racist group of people, for sure. What about you? This is a true story, by the way.
No, there was this one instance where I was in class, and this isn't even an instance where it happened at a restaurant or anything, because thankfully I haven't been a part of that. But it's like, I remember some guy called me a dirty Mexican, and I was like, what the hell? Like, really fucked up. Yeah, and I got really offended. I was like, dude, you don't even know me, like, at all. Like, the fuck do you know about me? And I got really pissed off. But I'm glad to have not been a part of like any customer service instance where like someone assumed I wanted a burrito at a Carl's Jr.
Nah.
Or like I don't know, like
Okay, a real instance that I like, no joke, a real situation that I experienced where it was highly racially motivated. I guess.
Oh, so you telling me that the robbery that you just
that was absolutely
sounded like you made up wasn't real?
Well, I mean, it was real to me. So it's really up to your interpretation. Is he kidnapping someone? That's a person, a full-size person. He's carrying down those stairs. This is actually, it's unfortunate because it was a racial situation. And it was against my own people. It was against me. So this was actually at the place I worked at, which is, still a place of professionalism. And my manager was black. And I'm having a discussion with him, and he's like, "Hey, man, for real, I gotta say something to you, man. Yo, you one of them book reading niggas, huh?" I didn't know that niggas were categorized. So I'm a book reading nigga. And this is my manager. He's above me. And he's really we'll say urban. He has a very urban personality. Oh. And for me to be an individual that uses phrases like urban personality, he saw me as a book reading nigga. And ever since I saw him from that point forward, him and anybody that he was hanging with, they called me professor. Because I'm a book reading nigga. Hey, what's up, professor? How you doing, professor? But it's like, you're clowning me because I'm educated? I don't understand that. Yeah. But it's a racial thing because I spoke too clearly. I speak with poise, and I use phrases and words that are farther than 4 syllables. So that hurt me more than anything. Like a white person calling me a nigger wouldn't feel the same as my own people calling me a book reading nigga. Like, it's a different context of racism. It's inner racism, and it hurts. Yeah. But yeah, definitely having black people. Even it took you guys on the podcast a while to realize I was black. So I guess I can't be mad at it.
Even with this stream, I don't think.
They're still trying to I still believe people are adjusting the contrast on their screens to make sure is he black or white, and they're trying to figure it out. I'm black, guys. I'm of colored descent.
When you start talking really eloquently to people. Especially in the profession that I was in when I was working at installing solar panels, they were like, "What the hell are you talking like that?" I was like, "Who are you telling you? Calm your ass down. I talk like this regularly."
Yeah, this is me faking it. I talk like this.
What are you using all these smart words for?
Yeah, what is the eloquency? So it's really unfortunate that education can separate you from race.
Or from a pay raise.
Yeah, from a pay raise. If you're too smart, they won't give you a promotion.
Oh yeah.
So black people don't like me because I'm not black enough because I'm educated. There you go. That's my. So white people and other races have done racist things to me. But it doesn't equate to having your own.
Having it done to your own.
Yeah, your own kind going, "Come here, white boy, give me your shoes," and it's like, well, here they go. Here, it's a really sad life for a person like myself.
In the instance of Bo Bice coming into the news again,
I love that name.
With him suing Popeyes, not a good move for you, Bo.
Hey, it's about getting paid. It's about getting paid. Bo Bice isn't making money from music, obviously, so I think he's chosen a faster, easier, more convenient route, and that's suing Popeyes for a slight racial slur, which isn't even fully racial. White boy.
White boy. You could do worse than just
Caucasian male,
vanilla face,
male of the Caucasus Islands. There's nothing.
You Caucasus man. Let me ask you something. I'm glad you're here, by the way. Because you weren't here the last time. Mm-hmm. When you look at the Popeyes spokeswoman, what do you think? Do you Come on, child. Come on, child. She doesn't say that shit.
Come on, child.
She doesn't say that. You gotta get my $5 box.
She basically says that to me. That's what I hear when I see Aunt Jemima. Aunt Jemima basically selling chicken to people. Because oh, come on down to Popeyes, child. It's that fresh Louisiana taste, straight out of the hood. And it's just fucking.
It's just two gas.
It's two gas. She's holding 2 pistols, and her nephews that have too many kids are holding their kids and they're crying. Every time I see the commercials, I get a bit offended because it does feel like one would call it cooning. It just feels like they just grabbed a black woman and said, "You will be the face of Popeye's chicken." Yeah. And she has this very we'll say quirky black personality. y'all need to come on down to Popeye's, child. Like it's like a slave woman telling you to get her food, and that's what it feels like when I watch it. Even the sound guy agrees. He's nodding his head because as he watches it, he goes, "I've seen a lot of slave films, and that's how they would promote chicken, right?"
The sound guy does a lot of cocaine. He's
does
nodding his head a lot.
He's nodding his head because he's having a seizure, and it's really slow. He's having one of the slowest seizures I've ever seen. Actually, it's a very agreeing seizure. It's a very agreeing seizure.
We should put a walnut in his mouth. Make sure he doesn't bite his tongue. You know what? Then comes to mind. Speaking of spokespeople that really harp on one racial end, Taco Bell had the Chihuahua. So that kind of like
Spanish
hurt
dog,
me.
that hurt you, but it's not the same as having like a dude dressed up as the guy from Alberto's with the sombrero and a plate of tacos.
That guy's like waiting for this guy's waiting for a tow truck. He looks like he's just like slowing down, taking a nap because he's probably hungover. Like Alberto, Alfredo, Almerio,
Alberto's, Alanberto. Like there's so many fucking different, so that, but it's weird because that's a Mexican restaurant, but if Taco Bell used that mascot and he was like, I come to Taco Bell, like that'd be fucked up, right? That'd be wrong. I think the
dog speaking Spanish is fucked up.
It is fucked up, but it's a Taco Bell, so they can get away with that. They use a Spanish dog instead of a Spanish person because it's a little more PC. But this to me feels like they got the very type of black woman that they think would relate to the group of people that buy the chicken. Like if you had a pit bull that was a black woman, that's
y'all need to get my stupid barking at y'all need to get my chicken honey in a fucking dog's pantomime in a dog's voice.
But I feel like that's safer than having her like do
what she's doing now.
Yeah, this is some of the best chicken down the block. Like
it's my $5 box, honey.
Yeah, come on, if you ain't getting the $5 box, you ain't shit. Like
you ain't getting my $5 box. And she goes,
child. Like it's one of those things where I'm not like, maybe I'm black and I'm complaining. Maybe other people don't see this, but
if you think that was bad, to the audience at home listening or watching on the streaming YouTube channel, if you think that's offensive, you should watch the older St. Ides or the older Colt 45 commercials. If you thought the lady in the Popeyes commercial was very offensive, you'll have a field day with those ones.
Oh yeah.
Yo, I like kicking it with the brothers. Exchanging philosophies.
Ball.
Keep in mind, this is a Colt 45 commercial.
Right. So they're on a basketball court drinking St. Ides and playing basketball.
Yeah. A big Colt 40. Like when I like chilling with the brothers, I like playing basketball and drinking malt liquor because that's the most hydrating method to do when you're playing basketball.
Just me and the fellas playing ball, kicking philosophies. Like, what the fuck is it's like a New York park and it's a summer day and they're drinking St. Ides while balling. It's it's embarrassing. And they have the 90s chooky scratches and all that.
Even with the rappers doing the St. Ides one, Eric B. and Rakim did one.
Oh, man.
The Wu-Tang Clan did too.
Did one, yeah.
But so now with us exploiting these racial characters, like I'm telling them exploiting them as in shining light to the obvious wrongdoings that they're having,
Right.
Do you think that marketing planned it to where we pointed that out with it being so obvious?
The marketing kind of set us up to recognize that?
In order for us to keep talking about it.
Oh, well.
Because we are talking about it right now.
Right.
This is like a Popeyes plug.
Right. Actually,
because we're talking shit about this
the controversy of the commercial gets people's attention.
Yeah.
No, I don't think people are thinking that hard. I don't think people are discussing these matters. So, no. I think the commercial, based on how I understand marketing works, it's like a perfect algorithm. It's perfect. It's perfection. So, they chose the perfect mascot for Louisiana chicken, Popeyes. So don't worry about it because it's Popeyes Louisiana chicken. They found an authentic personality from Louisiana and they used that as a motif to sell their product. do your thing, man. Also when it comes down to any other restaurant or like Surge or something, right? Surge is marketed directly to these young teenagers jumping off of houses doing parkour. So that's the group. You're gonna get that very guy.
We have the statistics right here. You just can't read them.
We have facts. Now, when it comes down to marketing, it's like they're just hitting the group that would buy it the most. Everyone else, they kind of don't give a fuck about as long as you guys hear the ad. So in this case, Popeye's Chicken is marketed to black people because black people love Popeye's Chicken. The end. Can't be mad at that.
Is that a stereotype?
That is. Well, I mean, if my company is a specific company and I know that punk rockers fuck with what I sell, like let's say
Popeye's Chicken?
Yeah. Popeye's Chicken. Punk Eyes Chicken primarily sells spiked chicken with collars and Black Sabbath CDs or whatnot. That's not even punk. But anyway, please forgive me. But when it comes down to it, it's
I can't forgive that, Professor.
You can't forgive it. You can shuts down the stream.
The Mark and Professor show.
Right. So, let's say my company, we appeal to punk rockers and we sell punk rock chicken. We're gonna have a fucking punk rock mascot. That makes sense, right? We're not gonna get some black Louisiana woman to sell my punk rock chicken. It's not gonna fucking sell. I'm gonna get a dude with a handlebar mustache
or Billy Idol.
Billy Idol himself.
Well.
It doesn't matter. He might as well get. He needs the word.
It doesn't matter.
So I mean, it comes down to it. I mean, you guys think about it. How would you market? If you think about a company and go, how would I market that company? If I know this group of people is only buying it, it doesn't matter who else buys it. I gotta make sure the biggest group buys my shit. And I know too many black people that love Popeye's Chicken, and they don't give a fuck that Aunt Jemima's doing the chicken commercial. So who gives a fuck?
Okay, so with that being said, I want to give a little PSA out there. The California Raisins, those fucking mascots were extremely racist. They were 4 raisins that were
an R&B group
as dark as Don Cheadle fighting with Wesley Snipes in the dark, and they were singing like Motown classics. They were total racial exploitation.
Pillsbury Doughboy is a highly racist figure. He's a white man. He's actually a white. He's a white homosexual. He's in everyone's kitchen. He's a white homosexual. He just wants to be touched.
No one. You don't see the worst part is where the cut from him getting poked in the stomach to them grabbing him and shoving him in the oven. You don't see that. You don't see that at all.
You haven't seen that. Harder. You don't know what he's doing after in the commercials. But in regards to how all these fucking mascots are, I mean, think about it. Look at every
time Paul Rodriguez's dad, the comedian. I remember he used to be a spokesperson for La Pizza Loca.
Yeah. I mean, what about
everything that Steve Harvey does? All Steve Harvey needs to do on Family Feud is give a stupid reaction to when a white guy says something dumb.
Make sure the mustache is wiggling.
And then they cut to the camera to where it's just because you know that face he gives. You say something name something that you have to use in the kitchen. Plunger. Fucking Steve Harvey would be what kind of kitchen you got? Steve Harvey does this thing.
I love Steve Harvey. Rest in peace.
He's not dead. Are you going to pull him in that death pool for 2017?
No, he's dead. He's dead inside. And he's on Family Feud. I mean, look at his eyes.
Once he took off the wig.
I will never forgive him for having that perfect wig on. We always thought he had the best hairline, but it was a fucking wig all these years. But anyway, you were saying in regards to just mascots and the racial profiling behind it, man. You can do that shit for days. It's all about how they can get to the kids. I mean, at one point, remember, Honey Nut Cheerios had rap commercials. Reese's Puffs had rap commercials. Actually, yeah, Reese's Puffs had rap commercials. There was this little black kid rapping about Reese's Puffs. And then Honey Nut Cheerios actually had, what's his name? The mascot. He's a little bee.
Yeah, the bee.
The fucking bee. The bee is rapping and breakdancing now. He's rapping the trap music about Honey Nut Cheerios. and he's breakdancing. So it's all about what the kids want. I guess black kids love Honey Nut Cheerios or some shit. So who knows? Or maybe he got cool. Who knows what he was like? Maybe the Honey Nut Bee got into the wrong crowd. He started fucking with the
went to the wrong hood. went to the Cookie Crisp hood. Messed around with some of that chocolate crisps. He was hanging with the Bloods and then dueled out with the Honey Nut Crips. I mean the fucking the Cookie Crips.
The Cookie Crips. Cookie Crips. And it's like stupid. Then he got on Smack.
Oh my!
With Smacking the Frog.
He started doing Smack.
With Smacking the Frog.
Oh,
unfortunately,
fuck that frog, man. That fucking frog, man. The stupid red hat. You know what? This is gonna be let's start making fun of the fucking cereal mascots. The Lucky Charms guy.
This is random.
Total Irish exploitation.
Random turn. Yeah, he was an Irish exploitation. Fruit Loops. In regards to Fruit Loops, it was all about cocaine. Follow your nose. Of course, he broke the Fruit Loops into small flavors and snorted them all up. We already know
so
that.
they became a white powder.
And then he sold and trafficked those little kids to get more Fruit Loops for him. We all know that.
Crack cocaine was deeply embedded into Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs.
I'm Cocoa for Cocoa. Woo! Homeboy went on a fucking tear for some Cocoa
Wait,
Puffs.
now he's like in a straitjacket at all times, right?
He's fucking crazy.
Like he's clinically, like they have to put it on the back. Warning: this will make you clinically insane.
There's like a health.
It's him, and the health is on the back of his jacket.
Cocoa Puffs is not endorsed by the General Mills or the FDA. What we had? You know what? Sugar Bear from was it not Honey Grams? The Golden Grams.
I had one bowl of Golden Grams and I never went back.
So sweet.
It was like poison, and even for a child, I remember my nose was bleeding.
Your kid's diabetes from eating these flashes.
I was admitted to a hospital immediately after my first bowl. I think I spent about 3 or 4 weeks in rehabilitation and
to desensitize you from the sugary substance.
Absolutely, yeah, yes, and it was that bear, man, that bear. Every night I had a dream of that bear, and he just
was gonna get it. No, it's whatever you want to talk about here on the Mark and Professor show.
Read me.
Sorry, Professor. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another great episode of the Mark and Andre podcast show where we talked about Bo Bice. The
highlight of the night?
No, definitely not the highlight. He doesn't get any more advertisement than that. We rejoiced with all the... we rejoiced in memory of these recent passings in 2016. We hope for a good positive year in 2017 with you guys and with the Mark and Andre podcast show. I'm going to leave the floor here for Andre Gaynor to promote his YouTube channel, Lyricology 101.
Hey, so yeah, if you guys don't know by now, I'm a hip-hop instructor, teacher, guy, person, thing.
Professor.
I guess I'm a hip-hop professor. So essentially what I do is on my channel, I take popular hip-hop songs and I dissect every single line of a verse. I show you their concepts, how the metaphor works, how the rhyme schemes work, how they flow, how they go to the rhythm of the beat. I break down the beat, and I just share like the whole concept of what's taking place. Also, I give individual rap tips on how to use rhyme schemes, how to use metaphors, wordplay, etc. If you guys want to check it out, it's at youtube.com/Andre Gaynor. That's youtube.com/ANDREGAINER. We hit 30,000 subscribers, I think, yesterday or the day before. So 30,000. I'm very happy. I haven't put out a new episode in like 3 weeks, so I will be putting out a new episode in this coming week. It'll be a breakdown of a popular rap song, and check out what I do. If you guys, one thing for sure, I know you guys like Eminem. So if you want to know what makes Eminem like really this incredible hip hop artist, check out the channel. They're not long. It's about 15 to 20 minutes, and I dissect everything that I can about what they are doing in regards to their lyrics. So check it out. If you're from the channel, if you guys have checked me out, leave a comment and let me know. Like, all of my people leave comments. If you guys are from the podcast or from the stream, say, hey, Andre, I'm coming from the stream or the podcast, and I'll show you guys some love. So check it out. That was shameless promotion. Boom.
I want to thank sound guy sipping on his coffee, making sure
Sipping too loud.
No one interrupted from the loud ass wedding that happened behind here at the Orange Space in Redlands, California. I want to thank my proud sponsor, Game Swappers. Game Swappers, buy, sell, and trade. Make sure to follow Game Swappers on Instagram at GAMESWAPPERS. That's GAMESWAPPERS. Game Swappers, buy, sell, and trade. Andre, I want to thank you for coming along, co-hosting as always. You guys watching and you guys listening on the audio stream, you guys have a good night and take care. Beautiful.
What do we do here? How do I?
I don't know.
Do we?
Sound guy. Oh, he's just sound. He doesn't even do video.
I mean, nice. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all you guys for being, for being a part of this. You're all good people. I respect all of you. Have a good one. Good stream. Love me.